the other. So the biggest ones that we found, they were denomination up to $10. $10 were coins that had already, they were 14 kilo each. It's about what, 30 some pounds?
Wow.
But in this wreck, the bigger we found was the $4 coin, is the one that I'm holding, and then they were that the $2, $1, and half dollar. And they packed it in the way because they were also equivalent in size. They were there was 4 of $1 over 1 of $4, and so on to make it to fill the chest. These were the coins, previous conservation, and over there you have the $4. I think one below is $1 and half a dollar. But the comparison between the same value of a silver coin of the time. So no wonder why the Swedish were the guys who came up with the first paper money. They found it quite cumbersome to go with this currency around. So this was the story of the Ernest Schimmelmann, which is a wreck that I like especially because of the fact that we were not looking for her because apparently it wouldn't have any interest. And then you end up having a very rare artifact, the cargo of a very rare artifact that was only found once before in the Nicobar in South Africa, that they had made a beautiful discovery of the same cargo. And the year that I found this wreck, it was coming out the book from the Nicobar, so I didn't have the chance even to read the book. For me, it was totally new. And the fact that this curiosity that we all share, it doesn't let you stop and say, this wreck is not interesting. Every wreck is interesting for one reason or the other, and sometimes you get rewarded with discoveries like this. So this was in Cape Verde. I will go quickly then. Mozambique. Mozambique, I worked 14 years there. We found 45 shipwrecks. We excavated 4 of them. The seabed in the Indian Ocean, or at least in this part of the Indian Ocean, I could say that is very similar to what we know here in the Caribbean. It would be sand and coral and reasonably clean waters. But then we found another hurdle, and was the tide difference. Here, I am used to 1 foot or one feet of tide difference in the spring tides. There was 5 meters, so 15 feet. When you find a wreck, and you will record the wreck, and you will report to the authorities or to whoever, you have to say in which depth it is, and then you have to say in which tide you took the measurements, because the wreck that is at 5 meters depth one day, and next tide is dry. So, and this is also, this put a big challenge for us in the excavation process of the wrecks, because you have to make your dive plan. Your dive plan goes with the depth that you're working, and when you have some days up to 15 feet difference in the same dive, it makes it difficult for you to plan and dive safely for your team and the instruments that you're working with. So the island of Mozambique, which was our headquarters, it was more or less what it was Havana for the Spaniards. The island of Mozambique was for the Portuguese. They would leave Lisbon, stop in the island of Mozambique, replenish or winter there, and then continue to go in India and in the way back as well. Sometimes they didn't come exactly through the island of Mozambique. They would go outside of Madagascar in the way back, but part of the fleet, so some of the pilots, they prefer to stop for the winter in this small island. That island, just as an anecdote, this is an island that has 1 mile, and now I will get 1 mile long times 400 meters wide in the widest part. So it's a very small place. The bridge which links the island to the continent, it has 2 miles. So the bridge is longer than the island. But as it was the capital of Mozambique for for like 3 or 4 centuries, it was thriving with commerce and every ship that was stopping there. So it was a very rich island during those centuries. They built it, there was a big, as still today, a big mixture of cultures. You will find churches, mosques, and everything is all quite mixed. The African imprint as well. So the island of Mozambique was our headquarters. From there, we run the operations for 14 years, looking for the shipwrecks of the Portuguese have left there, mainly Portuguese. This is, well, some